Hi, almost graduates, and welcome to your final class in the Child Development Program at Western Oklahoma State College. I'm so excited for you that you've made it this far and excited for what the next 8 weeks holds. So, you've probably noticed that this class ends in a one. That's because it's only 1 credit hour, um, meaning you shouldn't have to spend as much time on it as you have other classes that you've taken at college. Um, Really, in this class, there's not new material. At this point, we expect that you've learned it all and you're going to exhibit that. Show us what you know. So that's really what this class is about. So here's the homepage. Unless you are in a first 8 weeks class with me right now, or a full 16 weeks class that started at the beginning of the semester, then you don't know that my office hours have changed just a little bit. So this is what they are now. As always, they are in person, on the phone, and virtual, unless they say virtual only. Those are the times that except for Fridays, they are the times that I'm trying to be there for you because I know that you're working all week. So you might have your questions of an evening or on the weekends. So that's when I'm available. And those are virtual only. I'm not in my office, so I won't be able to answer my office phone. The only way to get a hold of me is logging on to the Zoom, which you can do right here, um, clicking this link or scanning this QR code. If you do need to schedule a meeting, it's not required to meet me during any of those, but if there's something you think I need to plan ahead for or something, you can let me know by scheduling a meeting. So here's how this class is set up. You're going to want to make sure you look through these modules before you get to week one because there are some assignments, as you can see in these. So make sure you read the Start Here page. There could be some things that changed a little bit since your last class. Um, if this is your final semester, which it probably is your final semester, but sometimes people take this and then still have some gen ed classes that they need to finish up. But if this is your final semester, you need to apply for graduation, and no one can do that for you. You've got to go into your MyWestern account and apply for graduation. So you can go into MyWestern or click on this link to get that done. But if you don't apply, they're not going to have a diploma for you. So, well, they need to run a degree check on you and tell you that you're allowed to graduate, that you have all the credits you need, and to get you a diploma. So this is not about whether or not you plan on walking across the stage in May. This is about actually receiving your diploma. So you need to apply for graduation. Um, Textbook information, you should not require any new textbooks for this class. You should have them from previous classes. If you don't stress out about that. We'll loan you some rather than you go buy new books. Um, so these are just some references that you might need. And then a big part of this class is the site visit. I'm going to finally get to come out and see you. I wish we did something like this in your first class because I hate that it's not until the end that I get to see you. So maybe that's something I should rethink one of these days. But I get to come out and visit your site, and you're going to show me around it and show me ways that you're doing great things, and you're going to implement a lesson while I'm there. So we'll talk about this in our Zoom, but you need to make sure that you schedule, like when you schedule with me, which we'll do, you need to make sure that you've also scheduled with your facility, because part of the time someone else will need to be watching your children so that you can show me around, but also part of the time you need to be the one in charge. You need to implement a lesson plan that you've developed. So you need to be the lead teacher on that. Even if you're not usually the lead teacher, you should be when I'm there. Okay, so that takes some coordinating between your facility and me. And we will talk about this field evaluation in our Zoom. We will talk about this in our Zoom. But just know these say they're due December 6th, but really they're due whenever I come visit you. So that is something that we will schedule, is the time that I come visit you. If you live so far away that that's not feasible, we will figure that out as well. Another big part of this class is your child development professional portfolio, which you have some documents in already from your previous classes, but then there are new resources that you're going to collect and put in it for this class. Again, something else that we will talk about in our Zoom, but they're also, when I say we'll talk about them in our Zoom, that doesn't mean don't go through these before then, because really what I would like is for our Zoom to be clearing things up for you, not me just reading the information to you. So be prepared with questions for our Zoom, okay, by looking at these before then. So in week 1, which starts the day you're opening this class, you're going to give me information about, this is going to be closed because I'm in student view. You're going to be answering these questions so that I can plan your site visit, like the name of where you are, what city and town it's located in, a day of the week that's best for you, etc. And when it says anything else I need to know, this is where you tell me, hey, GPS doesn't take you to the right spot. Here's what you really need to do. Or the door's kind of hard to find. There's a front entrance, but you need to go around back. Things like this that I need to know, so that I'm not late when I've traveled to come see you. And then your next assignment for this week is a discussion, saying hello to each other. These are your colleagues in Southwest Oklahoma, early childhood education and childcare. So hopefully you recognize each other because you've been in classes together for a while, and you can share where you're at in your journey and your future plans together. So that's week 1. And in week 2, you're going to tell me some things about your field site, some information, and these 3 documents you should already have. So you're going to clean them up, finish them up. If your autobiography isn't finished, remember, this is a professional autobiography. I know that a lot of times we become teachers because we're passionate and something in our personal life led us to be passionate. I've been guilty of sharing all that information, and I'm not saying it's not important to share, but be careful about how you share it. Don't get too wordy. If you were looking for a job, somebody wouldn't read all that, but also just don't get too personal. It's not the professional thing to do. So find a balanced way to share that passion. Your resume, which you completed in the child development professional, but probably have some things to change about it since then. You might have gotten some new certifications. You definitely did if you got your CDA. Your anticipated graduation might have changed. If you've got a really high GPA, put that on there, only if it's really high, like 3.8 or above. Maybe 3.5. I don't know. Anyway, only if it's high. You don't have to put a GPA on a resume. And your child development philosophy. What does it mean to you to be a child development educator, early childhood educator? What's your philosophy of teaching and of early care? So those are 3 documents you should already have, but you're going to clean them up and resubmit them and then put them in your portfolio. We have a Zoom meeting on October 15th, and we will talk about those things that I mentioned before. And you will start on the 2 main things for your portfolio. So for your portfolio, you're going to write, of the 6 NAEYC standards, you're going to write a statement towards each of them, what they mean to you, how you've exhibited that you have mastered these standards, or understanding of them. Hopefully, we've never fully mastered them, but your understanding of them, and you're going to collect your artifacts for standard 1. And there are documents telling you exactly what goes in these. And then week 4 is similar. You're going to do standard 2, but you're also going to submit the lesson plan for the lesson that you're going to implement when I come visit you. Week 5, you do a self-assessment. Depending on when you took 1103, you might have done a self-assessment and put it in your portfolio. You'll use that self-assessment. If not, you're going to try to think back to what you knew then versus what you know now. And then standard 3. Week 6 is a discussion about your self-assessments and standard 4. Week 7 is standards 5 and 6. And then we're to the end of the semester. I'm going to do a final check of your portfolio. Notice what's in here is not your site. What's not in here is your site visit, because you and I need to schedule that. So somewhere in these weeks, I'm also going to come see you. So like I said, please read everything in these modules so that you're prepared with questions when we have our Zoom. Okay, I'm so excited for you. I know you're graduating in December, but I hope you'll come back and walk in May and get to cross that stage. All right. As always, reach out if you have any questions.